All right, what's going on, you guys? I just want to do a follow-up video from the Lomachenko fight last night. I did a review last night, and I read a lot of the comments, and I've seen a lot of reactions of the fight. A lot of people weren't impressed with Lomachenko. A lot of people believe now that he would definitely lose to both Mikey Garcia and Tank Davis. Okay, based on his performance last night. And, listen, it's nothing new with boxing. You watch a fight, you see a performance, your opinion sways back and forth. It happens all the time. It's happened with me with Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. It's happened with me with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. When I see a certain performance, it always has me going back like, I don't know who's going to win this between these two or whatever like that. So I get it. That's cool. But the problem is a lot of people are forgetting. Some of these fighters, you have to always look at the opponent and what they're doing in the ring. That particular fight. Okay, Pedraza, you go back and see him watch him fight Tank Davis. I'm not saying that Pedraza was a better fighter. And he probably was a better fighter. But Pedraza, his game plan against Lomachenko, all right, was an excellent game plan. And he was very consistent with it. Okay? He did a great job. All right? The upper body movement, the feints, the leg work, everything that he was doing. All right? The volume. He was doing a lot of things that made it hard for Lomachenko based on Lomachenko's style. Okay? He is not the Lomachenko's not the puncher that Tank Davis is. He's not. He's just not. And you can't always just judge a fighter. Look, Lomachenko is coming off surgery, and he's unifying. First fight, fresh out of surgery. Okay? Fresh out of surgery. What fighters are doing that today? Every fighter needs 1, 2, 3 tune-ups before they get back into it, normally. All right? Look at Jared Hurd right now. He's been active. He fought Lara this year in a great fight. He unified with Lara. He's been active all year. He had surgery. He just had a fight recently, and he wants another tune-up before even fighting Charlo. He wants 2 tune-ups before the Charlo fight. Keith Thurman, same thing. Same thing. You think he's going to come back and fight Errol Spence in his first fight? Hell no, he's not going to do it. This ain't the UFC. You don't always have to fight the best fighter in your first fight back. This ain't the UFC. These guys normally want tune-ups. If you watch the fight, clearly Lomachenko is somewhat limited. And I'm not trying to take away from Pedraza. He did an excellent job. But clearly, Lomachenko, there was no right hook in that fight. We wasn't seeing it. So I'm not judging anyone that thinks Mikey or Tank would destroy him. That's your opinion. Until they fight, we could go back and forth all day who would win these fights. But if we're going to judge a fighter based on them having a tough fight, that's ridiculous. Everybody, every great fighter, every pound-for-pound fighter have tough fights. Anyone you name out there has tough fights. Tank Davis haven't had a tough fight yet because outside of Pedraza, he hasn't fought anyone that great yet. And recently he's been fighting guys like, he fought Cuellar in his last fight. Cuellar is a 126-pounder. And Tank struggled to make 130. He was stripped because he couldn't make weight. He's not active. I don't know what Tank is doing right now. But we can't just judge these fighters every time they have a tough fight. Floyd Mayweather had tough fights, debatable fights. He's had them. Oh, because of Marcus Maidana's almost beat him in the first fight? Now he's trash? Oh, he's overrated? No, it happens. Keith Thurman had tough fights. You know, he's been hurt. Terrence Crawford, look at the Terrence Crawford last fight. Terrence Crawford against Benavidez. Benavidez did a good job. He did a great job. And people were judging Terrence Crawford based on that performance. It happens. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. You guys got to understand that. Yeah, look at the styles, look at the opponent, and look at what they're doing in that particular fight. It may work well in that fight. Maybe not against a Tank Davis or a Mikey Garcia, but it worked well against Lomachenko. Lomachenko, who is somewhat limited. Still fought well, still tried to get him out of there. And remember, Pedraza did run the whole entire 12th round. He was in survival mode. Pedraza did not try to engage in that 12th round. All right? It was a good fight. It was a competitive fight. Pedraza did a great job. He did better than most people believed he did. And I think that's the problem. I think a lot of people just thought that this was going to be another cakewalk, including myself. I'll be fair and admit that I underestimated Pedraza. But I said in my review last night, I liked the way Pedraza fought Lomachenko better than Linares. And I know Linares dropped him and everything, but I would have preferred the way Pedraza was fighting him. Not saying Pedraza is better than Linares. What I'm saying is I prefer the way Pedraza was fighting Lomachenko. You know? It is what it is. As far as Tank Davis, let me go, I said a few things. My thing with Tank Davis, he's excellent. I would love to see that fight. I would really want to see that fight. I think Tank Davis is legit. I've made videos saying that. I just don't know what he's doing. I don't know. I'm from the outside looking in. I just don't know what's really going on with that situation. Because from the outside, Floyd does seem to be into himself, but I don't know if Floyd is making all of the calls over there. I have no idea what's going on with his career. All I know is that he fought one time this year against a 126-pounder. All right? And one that wasn't really active when he fought him. Tank is too young to be just burning years off like this. I don't know what he's doing. But what I do know is that Lomachenko has called him out. And Tank is constantly being asked about Lomachenko. And he has no interest in fighting Lomachenko. He always says, oh, maybe in the future, whatever. At the end of the day, the fight can be made. If you think Tank is better, cool. They should be fighting. They should have fought by now. I don't know what's up with Tank. Even him going back and publicly coming out and saying that he thought the Pedraza fight was a setup and shit like that. What? You did so good against Pedraza and you fought for a title so early, yet you think that was a trap or some kind of scheme to have you lose by Floyd? You did great against him. I just don't understand. Like, when I hear stuff like that from Tank, I just don't know where this kid is going. He's very talented, and I really would want to see that fight. Do I think Loma would win? Yeah, I think he would win, but that's not one that I'm as confident as I was when he fought Rigondeaux. Like, I knew for a fact that Loma was not losing that fight. But guys like Linares, guys like Tank Davis, I don't know. Not really absolute sure. Same with Mikey, I don't even know. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure on that fight. As far as Mikey, all I hope with Mikey is that if he is to lose to Errol Spence, I hope it's not to a point where something gets taken out of him. I hope it's not. I hope he doesn't get beat to a point where he's not the same fighter, because I feel like he's in his prime right now. If he leaves that fight with a loss and he's getting badly beaten, to a point where he gets destroyed, I just hope that doesn't take something out of him, because that happens a lot with fighters. When certain fighters getting beaten so bad, they're never really quite the same. That's all I'm hoping. Because he said he will go back down and he will fight Lomachenko. But he just wants this fight. That's why I wanted Mikey to fight Loma and to become undisputed before going up to 147. You know, I know he won a title at 140. I know he had a couple of titles at 135. Cool. But there was so much to be done before that. You know, 140 got good fighters there. You totally skipped that. You beat Lipinets, but you have Josh Taylor there. You know, you got Regis Prograis there. You got fighters. You had two fighters that I would have loved to see you fight. And at 135, you still had Lomachenko and Pedraza. You know, so I would have liked to see those fights. But, you know, he went up and he wanted to test himself and challenge himself. Then that's cool. Hopefully he comes back down to fight Loma. But hopefully he's the same Mikey. You know, I hope he's still in his prime. That's all. I want to see that fight too. But Tank really got to get his shit together. You know, as far as Loma, hopefully we can get him back. Hopefully the surgery comes around and hopefully we can see more right hooks and hopefully we can see him at his best again. You know, real soon. Probably in his next fight. You know, I was listening to Andre Ward. Andre Ward said in an interview with Fight Hype or whoever, he said in an interview, he said, listen, it took me a year to get back together. It took me a year. You know, he came back, he fought Lambamba Rodriguez, and he said he wasn't all the way there in that fight. You know, I'd rather hear it from someone that actually had the surgery before. I'd rather hear it from instead some random person that's just saying anything. Andre Ward has been there. He said it took a while. It took a year for him to get back to his normal self. So I respect Loma for giving us a good fight, trying to get the stoppage late. I respect him for actually unifying, coming off surgery. Because a lot of fighters are not doing that. They're not doing it. All right, so I respect him for what he's doing. I thought it was a great fight. Shout out to Pedraza. It was a great fight. And hopefully we could get some of these other fights that we want to see soon. Hopefully we could get a Tank Davis fight. You know, because as far as I'm concerned, at 135, I think one of the titles is vacant now. I believe that Mikey Garcia vacated one of the titles because he's going up to 147. So, you know, I don't know what's going on with that, but I want to see some more unifications in every division. All right? So, and I want to see Tank go up. You know, if he's not going to fight Tevin Farmer, and I think he'll destroy Tevin Farmer too. If he's not going to fight Farmer, if he's not, I don't know what he's doing at 130. I would like to see him go up to 135 and challenge himself. I think he's that good. And what is he waiting for? You know, but he needs to get active. Anyway, that's that. Make sure you guys hit subscribe and peace.